I don't know anybody wakes up and says, you know what I'm going to do when I grow up? I'm going to be a healthcare marketer. So I was like an English professor before this, and fell into this job, which I've ended up loving and making a 23-year career of.
What keeps you inspired to stay in healthcare marketing and in this field?
I come to work every day excited. I think this nerdy little area is really, really important, connecting people with the healthcare, the drugs, the support that they need to get healthy or to be as healthy as they can be. How about you? I mean, you've been doing this a minute or two.
Yeah, I think exactly what you're saying. I think that opportunity to really make an impact in people's lives, to change behavior for the better, to make them really passionate about their healthcare. I think what we're seeing today, and part of this is really driven by the pandemic, is people are really excited and want to be experts in their own health. The whole way that we are now diving into the science behind vaccines, and that's not just coming from healthcare professionals, it's coming from consumers and patients and people that are just wanting to understand what all of this means. That's a huge opportunity and a responsibility for us.
You've been our data guru for many years. But it feels like we're at a different moment. It feels like we're actually about to be able to do or just starting to do really different things with data.
I think people are much more concerned about privacy, and we have to really respect that desire for people to want to be much more private about their information. But they are willing to share that, and they're willing to share it when they get information that's valuable, when they can create a relationship with the brand or the information or the product that you're providing. What we're trying to do is really help to connect with our audience and see them not just as users, but as people, right? As humans that are looking for the type of data that will change their lives. We have a solution called Tandem that really utilizes that information, sees people in relevant ways that matter to how they're looking for information, to who they are, and reaching them in areas where they are today.
Just being able to make really special, access-focused products that are lacing together the data, the payer needs, and the healthcare providers all at the same time.
It's a great partnership. I think that's one of the things I love about working at Omnicom Health Group and the Center of Excellence there, because we get to work with Valuate and Entrée Health and Toggle and really learn from what's important, especially in the payer market access space, and also make our products that much better so that we bring something that really matters to our clients who are trying to do great stuff in the market. It's really upon us as individuals to be committed to training and to embracing people of all cultures. I kind of think about it as, when I travel, I love to travel, and that new perspective that you gain from learning about cultures, learning from different people, it ultimately really helps us to be better individuals, better professionals, and ultimately just better humans.
As a woman of color who can pass as white, one of the things that I never really realized was how many people were looking at me. And as I became more senior, part of how I realized I was becoming more senior was that people were just saying to me, I've been watching your career for X many of years because as a Black woman, as an Asian woman, as a name your sort of diverse person here, it was important to me to see someone like you come up. In the end, I think that old saw is an old saw for a reason. Representation really matters.
Yeah.
So I think the more folks that we have from really diverse backgrounds in positions of power, and the more we encourage folks coming up, the stronger we're going to be organizationally.
Some of the things that I would say for any young person coming into the industry is really to understand some of the nuances in healthcare marketing. There are very different regulations in the US versus ex-US markets, and being able to speak to that in a credible way really helps to set you up as somebody that they would really go to guide them in what the best way is to approach different challenges that brands may have in marketing. The second thing is, and because I love data, you know this, I think the storytelling with data is super compelling. Marketing, and healthcare marketing is no different, is really based on a lot of data, and being able to take that data and translate that into something that a creative or a planner or whomever can really evolve and expand into, and really use that as evidence and support for how they can help the brand, I think that is going to be huge.
I would tell any young woman coming in, think of your value. Know that it doesn't matter how sort of low or new your position is, you have something that's really important that you bring, and that your job is important. That kind of self-confidence and that kind of knowledge of where they fit organizationally, and that every single role is critical, that becomes, I don't know, almost the unspoken thing that we're looking for.
If I gave you a magic wand and you can change one thing about healthcare today, what would it be?
I mean, obviously I'm gonna have to ask for 2 magic wands, right? Not one. 2 things. One, for sure, even though it would take my entire network out of play, I would change the way we access healthcare in the US. I just think the fact that today people are so worried about whether their health plan or the government is gonna pay for their healthcare is a travesty. So that's number one, is really just changing the access scenario. The second is more insider baseball, really, for healthcare marketing in general, our clients and us. I would use my little magic wand and I would make a situation where we're actually not having to talk about diversity every day, because we're diverse. We have a diversity of opinions. We have a diversity of backgrounds that people bring to the table. And we just know that instead of being in an echo chamber, we're doing the best work we can with the most interesting people.
I want to live in that healthcare world.
Let's live in it together.
Okay.
How about you? What would you, I'm giving you your magic wand now. What would you do with it?
What I would love to see is the speed to customize, personalized treatment just for me, right? So that would take into account really connecting a lot of these data sets together. That would be being able to understand maybe what my genetic makeup is, what your genetic makeup is, how different that is, and get me a treatment that works really well for me. And that would also mean just quick access to diagnosis, because a lot of times, I mean, I don't know if you've experienced this, but I've experienced this where I've had symptoms and I don't know what it is. So you see multiple doctors trying to figure it out, and I wish all that data sat together to say, you know, it's likely this particular diagnosis because you have this genetic background, you have all of these kinds of symptoms, and so this is what we think we need to do for you. And along with your access to information and equality and diversity in health, that would be an amazing healthcare world that I want to live in.
I think we've painted the perfect future.
We
I want to
have.
work in it. We've talked about a lot of things that we would change about our world, but whether it's here at Omnicom Health Group or just in our profession, what are you super optimistic about right now?
The people that I've met within Omnicom Health Group, as well as Omnicom and the larger industry, and the fact that we're having these kinds of conversations about really being able to change the makeup and the fabric of what healthcare marketing looks like from a diversity and inclusion standpoint, from the fact that we're always looking for opportunities and innovation, and we all have that mindset and that desire to be collaborative in that. Like all of that potential combined together, it just makes me really excited about what we can do. How about you, Nina?
I'm excited about a lot, but I'm most excited about the people. I'm at a particular moment in my career where I'm retiring soon, and we have just the most incredible senior leadership that has been coming up over the years, and they've in turn selected and have been helping grow this incredible next generation. And so just knowing that the Entrée Health Network is in amazing hands makes me super, super happy.